up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Hey, camera's right here. Okay. For the people that watch this on replay, sorry about all that movement. Thought my angle was set up okay, and it wasn't. All right. And I'm gonna give people a few minutes to come in because I know I put the time as 5:05, 17:05. Usually what I do, but it's a special episode today, so I am ahead of schedule, which is nice. Very nice. And it was quite the day, but it's a perfect day for the episode topic that we have. And although it is a special episode, I am staying on topic because it's right in line with where I wanted to go with this episode. So, although it is a special episode, I'm not actually titling this one Beyond Special Episode because it's going to be a bit roller coaster, I'm quite sure. So, welcome to the Get Paid with Creative Nomad show. Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday, you guys. It has been quite the week, and it's only Tuesday. It is only Tuesday. And just so you guys know and can prepare, today's word is action. Action. Yesterday was perseverance. Today is action. And it's right in line because this episode, this particular episode, I am dedicating this episode to humanity. Simple humanity. I'm dedicating this episode to humanity. And I'm going to be mentioning some things that I'm taking very seriously, and I think all Black Americans should take seriously. First of all, secondary people of color, and overall anyone who is humane and sick and tired of this bullshit. So, action. And first, I want to give a too soon. I'm not gonna get choked up. I want to send my condolences to the family of George Floyd. That is the black man that the Minneapolis Police Department, them good old boys, can always count on them to kill themselves a nigga whenever they feel like it. And yesterday they felt like it in broad daylight in front of a bunch of bystanders. And they were just in the mood. And nothing preceding that could be a valid enough reason for why these motherfuckers keep on, keeping on, keeping on, keeping on, keeping on, killing in cold blood Black people. This episode is also dedicated to Breonna Taylor. She was a young black woman, an EMT, that some off-duty motherfucking good old boy cops felt the need to murder in cold blood based on a search warrant that had a different address on it, and the motherfucker was already in custody, who they claimed to have been looking for, filled her full of 8 gunshots in her bed. And I'm also dedicating this to her boyfriend, Kenneth Wallace, who just had the charges dropped for what was it, homicide, assault, attempted murder, or something like that, because he ended up shooting and killing one of them. But he was in his home. He was a legal gun owner. He lawyered up, and justice was served for him. For Brianna, no, she's just gone. And this episode is also dedicated to Ahmaud Arbery. He was the young black man that was just out getting some cardio. And 2 civilian good old boys, once again, as their Facebook support group said, 2 God-fearing good old boys. So Ahmaud Arbery, rest in peace to you. This episode is also to him. So, action. Let's get into it. What I have for today on the Get Paid with Creative Nomad episode is start where you are with what you have. Just start where you are with what you have. Just take action. Take action. Whatever it is that you have that you want to do, it's not going to get done if you don't take the first step. So take the very first step, plant your feet firmly on the ground, and just get started. Just get started. Just take action. You have to, if you cannot take the first step, you won't be able to make it to any other step, to the finish line. So, action. Take the first step. Start where you are with what you have. It's not about, oh, you need this. If you want to become a YouTuber, you don't need a big fancy camera. You don't need a big ring. You don't need all this shit that you can upgrade to. You know what I mean? You just need to get started. You just need to take action and do it. If you want to start a blog, do it. If you want to start a clothing brand, whether you're a designer or not, but specifically if you're not a designer and you want to start a clothing brand, it's easy as ever right now. You know what I mean? Take action. Take action. If you want to write a book, take action. Just start writing. You don't need a computer, a laptop, a Mac, a typewriter. You don't need all of this. Start with what you have and start where you stand or sit or lay, okay? Just take action and get into it. And like I just said, taking the first step can be the scariest, because you're setting off onto a new adventure and really putting your belief, like what we talked about yesterday, right? Belief being the concrete to everything else all the stakes that you're going to stick in it. So with the belief that you're going to see it through, take the first step. It's scary, yes, but once it's scary, once you get in, the water's fine. You learn how to adjust and adapt to the waves and, the motions. And like, if you just persevere, you'll be able to navigate through all the rough patches, all the, really deep waters, all the everything that you cannot foresee, right? You'll be able to navigate and get through it. Just take the first step and believe in yourself. Another thing I will strongly recommend, I definitely did this when I uprooted my whole business, moved from Minnesota to Arizona. I got so overwhelmed with all the shit I would have had to do to open my salon suite there and then get my license transferred over there, because it was overwhelming. And what I had to learn from that is just take one step at a time. You only have to do the next thing next. Does that make sense? Once I started, and we touched on this yesterday with perseverance, once I started breaking down all of the things that I need to do to get to those big overall, goals, it became a lot easier and a lot less overwhelming because, okay, yes, I have to do A, B, C, and D, but I only have to do A next. Once I complete A, then I only have to do B next. You see what I mean? But looking ahead or looking at the overall big picture or this big ass plate of food, it can be overwhelming. So just take one step at a time and keep in mind that you only have to take or do the next thing next. That's it. You can't even do step 5 without doing steps 1 through 4. It's like everything is a prerequisite for the next thing. So for me, that was huge, and I just wanted to pass it on to you guys. You only have to do the next thing next. That's it. Because I've heard people, we've all heard the, one step at a time, one day at a time. But in a day, like you could have a whole bunch of shit to get done in a day. So even that one day at a time can be overwhelming if you don't break the days down. Okay, what do I have to do today? What do I need to do? What are the top 3 things that I need, that I absolutely have to get done today? It is a must in order for me to do what I want to do tomorrow. Like literally tomorrow, what you have to get done today, right? So break your day down, break your weeks down, but starting with just the day. Break it down from the time you wake up to the time you plan to go to bed. And this makes it a lot more manageable for you, much less stressful. That is for damn sure. You will not be as stressed out. I think for me, what I'm finding the most um, time consuming and the most stressful part of it is getting that done, getting my weeks planned, and then breaking that down. Once that's all done, you have saved yourself so much time during the week. You have saved yourself so much stress during the week because you can also, it also helps to know what you can say yes to and what you have to say no to with each day, right? Because you have your must get dones for the day. You have your priorities set. You have your day set as far as your task and plans to do for the day. So if something else comes up or, if something else tries to work its way into your calendar, it'll be much easier for you to know if you can do this thing or not. You know what I mean? If you can do it without overextending yourself. And I mean beyond overextending yourself for creating the successful life that you're working towards creating, right? So just take it one step at a time. Break your days down, and just try to be as stress free as possible. That's really a part of a big part of building a successful life for yourself. Being able to do it and manage and manipulate your time to where it works with you and not against you. Or you're working with time, rather, and not against time. So, um, the next thing I have is put your attention where it's needed. And you see how all of these really just bleed right into the next thing? Put your time where it is, put your attention where it is needed, right? Don't spend half the day or an hour doing some shit that really isn't necessary for you to do, right? So you don't want to waste time either by doing something that either doesn't need to be done at all or it doesn't need to be done at the moment that you're doing it, you know? So really focus your attention on what is important, what is an priority, right? And in the moment priority that, of course, again leads to your final goal, your ultimate goal. So what is, for me, here's one I'll say as far as putting my attention where it's needed. One of the things that, why I'm really going so hard on getting my businesses established and profitable, which I know it's not going to be overnight, but this is where, this is a goal, a big goal of mine and a necessity, because as far as action and as far as being black in America, for me, being self sustained as far as being able to generate my own livelihood, okay? And from there, because I'm generating my own livelihood and my own income, from there I feel I can be much freer with my dollars, and I can make my dollars have a much more powerful and louder voice. So, establishing a business or just getting my finances in order for me is number one. Number one. So, that's why my focus is so heavy on getting my grind, staying on top of my grind, staying on top of everything that I talk about in all of these episodes, because financial independence as a black American is vital to my survival. Vital. It's non-negotiable, right? So that's where my attention is, and that's where it's needed. And that's what I recommend every black person in America that identifies as being black and that understands and knows that racism in this country is real, that this country was really made to be what it is on racism. I really, really, really stress to you, get your finances in order. Get your money together. The next thing that we need to do as a unity of people, of black Americans, people who don't know our lineage. We were born in this country for at least, I know, at least 3 generations. Get your finances together. Get yourself armed and trained, right? You have the legal right to carry a firearm, to own a firearm. You also need to be trained, actually trained on how to use it. Every part about it, how to break it down, how to clean it, how to put it back together, how to shoot it, target, aim. Get yourselves armed, legally armed, fully trained. I mean, fully trained. Build your artillery while you're building your finances, and also start looking at land and buy land. Once you start researching it, now I'm not going to drop any links on here because I'm sending out this message over the World Wide Web, but you need to do that offline on your own, privately. Um, but there is a link that I've actually been looking at for a year now, and there's so many options of buying land that is not as expensive as you may think. You just have to look and keep looking. There's payment plans. So land, land ownership is what we need to get back to, right? Whether, the indigenous peoples and the indigenous Africans that were here long before the Europeans set over here and got lost and didn't even know where the fuck they were. This is also vital to our survival on this planet, right? So take action. That's why I feel like it's perfect. Take action quickly. Be very uh, thorough and quick in your decision making process. So get your finances in order. That includes your credit score. That includes having money in your bank accounts. That includes having more than one bank account. That includes having money to invest and already investing or going to invest. That includes having a business that you work and see its way to profit. You see its way to something major, right? That will keep growing. Have at least work your way towards having at least 8 streams of income. Work your way towards having at least 8 streams of income. Arm yourself, get yourself trained, fully, completely trained, and buy yourself land all over this United States. Buy a little plot here, a little plot there, a little plot here. You know what I mean? I mean, if you look good enough and long enough, you will see exactly what I'm seeing. You'll see good. I mean, I've seen an acre of land for a very reasonable amount. A very, very reasonable amount. Um, I am being vague deliberately because this is a open platform, but we have to start taking our survival seriously. We have to start taking the fact that we have a natural born human right to defend ourselves seriously, and we have to take action. We have to take action. And for me, like I said, this is um, a very high necessity, so that's why I put my attention here. Put your attention where it's needed, like what we just finished going through. Put your attention where it's needed. Take action. You, you only have to do the next thing next. I'm just kind of recapping for you guys. And yeah, take one step at a time and start where you are. Start where you stand. You don't need a bunch of anything. You just need to get going. All right? And if you do want more information and you're African American or Black American, whichever is more comfortable for you to hear or say, um, email me. Email me. I do have a list that I'm looking at of land. So I think this is something that our next decade, these things need to these need to be a high priority. What I can't tell you what needs to be high priority on your list, but for me as a Black American, this is high priority for me, and I do feel like Black Americans should have this as a high priority. It should be a high priority. Getting their finances together or establishing a business, getting yourselves armed and trained. I can't say armed without saying trained. You have to be trained. And can you, yeah, just get yourself trained and armed and start buying land. Start buying land. Our fucking survival depends on it. It depends on it. We've been in this country way too fucking long to not own shit. And I don't care that they burned down Black Wall Street. We we can't let the times that have gone and the technology that have advanced as far as we've been fortunate enough to see. advance to this level. We can't we can't allow that to make us so fucking watered down that we're not even willing to defend ourselves anymore. And that is who we are. We're not violent, but we did used to defend our family. Don't come fucking with us. Just let me be, man. Just leave me alone. And when did we get to the point to where we won't even fight for ourselves anymore? We won't even defend ourselves anymore. I started going to rallies and protesting and being that rebel at like 12. I remember when my friend got murdered by another one of us, but just because the police covered it up for 2 hours, and I'm talking about all of us teenagers, we caused a whole fucking ruckus. We had the whole Lake Street. We were walking down the whole Lake Street. And the adults were marching with us. We weren't marching with the adults. We were running that shit. We went inside the little, not office, but it was a city council, the city council building. And my brother was pissed at me because he ended up seeing me on the news there because my homeboy who got killed was a blood. And my brother's 6 years older than me, and so my homeboy was my age. So we weren't, his age mates or anything, but it was a rival to him. But this was my homeboy. And the night he got murdered, we were in school, and he was just telling me that he was scared. Like, he was a blood because the family he was born into, he didn't want to be in that shit. But just because he wasn't murdered by the police, but we drove around for 4 hours looking for him. And after 2 hours, the police was already out there the whole time. But after 2 hours, they finally put up the police tape. Because back then, and even still, well, I don't know if it's still like that now, but back then, you knew when someone had died because they put up the yellow police tape. And so after 2 hours, we saw that tape, and it was right in the same area where we thought we last saw him. Because the police did that fuck shit, we raised hell. We raised hell. And so from then, and I was, I think, 15 at that time. From then, like, it used to be massive crowds. 2016, and this was all in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota, where George, I have his name written down, Wallace. Just no, I don't want to say his, I don't want to get his name wrong. Where's my, I don't know if y'all know who I'm talking about, but the black guy that just got murdered by the cops, George Floyd, I do apologize. So yeah, in Minneapolis. And so just from that, when the crowds were massive, right, and we were making big demands, and back in the 90s, I personally have called out several police officers to take off the females. Now, I'm not saying I was challenging male officers, but every fucking female officer I encountered, I would challenge her, take that motherfucking belt off and meet me in the streets. I bet you not tough then, because I'll beat your ass just because y'all just fucking with us. Right? So now here we are 20 years later. 20 years later, now they're just back to what they were used to. Like Trump said, make America great again. And this is what he meant. Just killing us in the streets. You got civilian, good old boys, good old Christian boys killing everybody, just killing us in the street. So from then, I saw the big, massive crowds. 2016, I go to the governor's mansion because this is where we supposed to be rallying, right? Everybody that's pissed off how they just killed Philando Castile live on Facebook, shot into the car with his daughter in the back, and he was complying, everything. The crowd was so thin, and it looked like a goddamn black party. A block, BLOCK, a block party. And they're passing out waters and shit. Bitch, if you don't get out my face, I don't want no goddamn water. It's gotten so watered down and whitewashed. Everything's gotten so whitewashed. So today they were supposed to be having a protest about George Floyd that they just murdered yesterday. Just yesterday. So I don't know if for you it's important to get your finances in order, arm yourself and train yourself and to get land, but for me it is. For me it is. I'm tired. Hi you guys. Welcome. Hey, look what I got. I haven't used it yet. I received it the other day. It smells so good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm excited to open it and see like what the bar looks like without the reflection of the plastic. That's exciting. Thank you. So, it's a little piece open right here. I just noticed it. That smells really good. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I actually am feeling a bit like a rebel today, so that's why I did my makeup like this, because I feel like a rebel. And so this is my warrior look, to be quite frank with you. This is my warrior look today because it's how I'm feeling. It is how I feel. So that's where it is. And it's time to take action. It's time to take action. Oh, candied ginger. Okay. It makes me want to bite it. I won't. I'm just saying. Look at that. So there you can see it's peeled off a little bit. That's so pretty. I love it. I can't wait to use it. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I'm just noticing it like right now. Right now. I just noticed this. Ain't that some shit? That smells good. Oh, sweet. I'm gonna use it tonight. I'm glad you popped on. I'm glad you saw it. I did a Instagram live when I first got it. Okay, let me stop rubbing all up on the soap. It smells really good. I'm not gonna keep y'all. I'm not gonna keep you guys because I don't want to. I absolutely could, but I don't want to. Just go on. I got my points across. Today's episode was about action. It was a special episode dedicated to the lives, the memories, the families of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery. And a huge congratulatory portion of the episode was to Kenneth Wallace, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, who had the charges dropped for attempted murder on killing one of the crooked cops that illegally busted into their home, firing, killing her with 8 shots, and in defense of his home and his life and his girlfriend, he shot back, fired, killed one, lawyered up, the charges were dropped, and I'm very happy about that. Oh, don't remove it. Bring it back. Okay. I know that's right. I know that's right. I really wanted you to see it. I wasn't able to see if you've been on since I've received it. So now that I know you have, I'm happy and I'm excited to use it when I shower this evening. So that's exciting. All right, you guys. I'm gonna leave you. It's been an extremely emotional day for me. Not crying. That's not what I mean, but just high emotion, high emotions. So you guys take care of yourself. Get your finances in order. Get yourself armed and trained. Get you some land, and just live peacefully like we try to do every day. All right, you guys. If you're watching this on the replay and you enjoy or watch one of the other episodes, maybe that, isn't on the heels of another one of my brothers being murdered in cold blood in broad daylight, then please subscribe. Thank you so much. If you are subscribed, thank you guys so much. I hope you're truly enjoying this series because I'm loving doing it. I am absolutely loving it and I'm growing from it. So it's helping me out just as much as I hope it's helping you guys. Like, seriously. I am taking heed to my own words that I'm saying. I'm walking it how I talk it and just trying to get shit done. Let me see. Yeah. I know how that gets. I know how that gets. Just keep going, though. Just keep going. Keep going. It's okay to get down, take a break. Just keep going. Don't take too long of a break. Thank you. Love you too, sis. Thank you so much. Um, and you guys have a great night. Again, if you want to be a part of the, I can't even think, the accountability and the progress train, send me an email. The email is in the link below, in the description box. The link is in the, what the fuck? The email address is in the description box if you want to be a part of the progress and accountability chain. So, I think you just deal with grief. For me personally, with grief, I think the best way to, okay, so I think it depends on what sense. My personal take on like grieving over death is it's a part of the life cycle and hold on to the memories of that person and laugh with the memories. And if you do cry, here's one thing that helps me out. A quote from Prince. And Lord knows I miss my friend dearly. Don't cry unless you're happy. Don't smile unless you're blue. Never let the lonely monster take control of you. Deep breaths, definitely. But, beyond that, I think just learning how